My name is Adiru Asmasia Beatrice, sitting here as the team lead of the school by God's grace. Today is the first day for official opening of third term. The turning up of children is relatively poor compared to the turning up of children in term 2. But the turning up of teachers is good. All the teachers have reported and they are in the class. Learning has started straight away in day 1. Out of 2,306 pupils for the whole school, only 1,010 reported today, meaning that 1,200 something have not yet reported. It's our humble prayer that by tomorrow they will be in, because teachers started teaching straight away. All the classes have teachers and teaching and learning is taking place. Thank you.
In terms of the government communications, we saw on newspaper that capitation funds have not been released. How will this affect you as a government-aided school in ensuring we have smooth running of the activities in the school?
Yeah, thank you. Of course, that is going to affect us negatively, because the capitation grant that the government gives us is helping us a great deal. You can even witness this is day 1, but the turn up of parents coming to pay their contribution, their small contribution towards the capitation grant top-up is equally poor. Therefore, if this capitation grant will not come to our rescue in time, it's going to affect us negatively, in a manner that teaching and learning process can even be slowed down. Some of the scholastic materials, we cannot acquire them because the response of parents is poor, and what has been aiding us is the capitation grant. Our prayer and plea to the government is this capitation grant be released in time, and it should aid us in managing the school. And this is the final term of the year, and the PLE is on, and we really needed this money to manage the school.
Maybe the population, government usually gives this money based on enrollment.
Yes.
For the over 2,000 enrollment, how much does the school receive? Has it been adequate?
Definitely no, it is not adequate, but we regard it as a gift. What is given is given, so we normally just use it as we have received it, like that. The money is not completely enough, but we accept it like that. Like the capitation grant fluctuates according to the financial year. It fluctuates. I cannot say that this is the amount we have ever been receiving. There are moments we receive less than 10, there are moments we receive more than 10 million, so it fluctuates. When you look at the need of the school, especially this school at Roy Hill, the need is more than the 10 million. But now the measure they have to give money to the government schools, we can't now overweigh it. We always only give our demands, that this is our need, this is our need, but whatever they give us, we allocate accordingly.
The local governments used to submit enrollment figures for purposes of planning to Ministry of Education and Sports. The head teachers will submit enrollment figures, we verify, and then we make submissions to the ministry. And the government decided to digitalize the submission of enrollment data to the ministry using Educational Management Information System. And now, about 2 financial years that government has been using this system to pay capitation grants to schools. And this year, government realized when we were starting the new financial year that the figures in the system were inconsistent, and therefore they decided to do verification. And these inconsistencies were caused by a number of factors. One, during the upload, the head teachers heavily rely on a group of people called service providers. And these service providers, now the head teacher collects the data, the information on the learners at school, brings to the service provider uploads to MES. And because there are few service providers and the number of people whom they are serving are many, there could have been some tendencies where, for example, you brought enrollment for your children, and instead of the service providers putting the enrollment under your school, he puts them under my school. And because there has been a lot of pressure to meet deadline to have these learners uploaded, we've had inconsistencies in the figures. But since the beginning of towards the beginning of August, the ministry directed all local governments to do verification. And once the verification was done, the number of learners on MES against the actual enrollment. And this has been submitted to the ministry, and the clearance has been given to a number of local governments, including Arua City, to make payments to school accounts. And I want to say, for us, our schools, anytime this week, they will be receiving their grants for first quarter. So that is what has exactly happened.
How do you now make sure that schools that have not been verified well receive what is due? Because if this money doesn't come on time, it will affect learning. Many of schools use this money for basic requirements and paying bills, water bills, electricity bills, and others, buying chalks.
Actually, there has been a lot of challenges we have been facing as a city and generally the West Nile here as far as this upload is concerned. For a learner's name is to be uploaded on MES, the details of this learner are supposed to be captured together with the detail of the parent, the national identity of the parent, and the telephone number of the parent. Many of our parents have not been supplying schools with this information. A number of them are hesitant to give their details, particularly the national ID details and the telephone number. And the telephone number must be the one which is registered using that national ID. And quite often, many of the parents are using telephones which are not registered under their name. This has brought a lot of inconsistencies and delays in uploading learners. I now want to use this opportunity to appeal to parents that yes, for us largely, our schools depend on the grants to run. And we should really take the issue of making sure we give the correct details on our learners to school so that the number that is uploaded matches. Two, there are so many children who enroll school and leave school along the way. This is term 3. I really want to appeal to parents to make sure that we bring these children back to the classroom, back to school. You get a lot of children loitering out there when they should be in school. And of course, this affects the money which school receives to help the learning process, and that subsequently will affect quality. So these are some of the challenges that we face. Parents not taking their responsibility seriously. What they want from you is only your national ID number and your phone number. So that has been one of our biggest challenges in these schools as far as capturing this data is concerned. Government is still open. Ministry has given us up to 30th of September to make sure that we clean the enrollment data and upload all the learners who are supposed to be uploaded to EMIS. Do this so that your capitation figures for Q2 will improve. If you don't do that, you are going to also continue receiving retro money.
How much does government pay per child in this capitation fund?
Government pays 20,000 per child per annum. That is as far as UPE is concerned. But for USE and upload, the figures differ. But for UPE, it has been paying 20,000 per child per annum. And this is divided into 3. This is divided into 3. And for universal secondary education, those students who are in secondary schools, government pays per student who is in O level 160,000 shillings per annum. And for those who are in A level, UPE, government pays 175,000 shillings per student. And then those with special needs, government pays 192,500 per annum. And this is divided by 3.
If you look at this money vis-a-vis what the schools also charge for parents to pay, many parents have also been raising concerns about high payment in government-aided schools where there's UPE and USE. What would be your guidance in terms of schools making decisions on those additional payments?
My challenge with the additional payments are provided for in the Education Act and the UPE guideline. There are limits. My challenge with them is that quite often many schools don't complete the cycle of following the procedure that is stipulated to have those charges in place. By and large, our children, our parents have been asked to pay minimum charges. In some of the schools here in MEDIA-Robsyiti, the parents are being asked to pay 2,000 for a whole term. This is below the threshold, which is in the UPE guideline. But this is not forthcoming. So that is our challenge. Yet the complaints are there, but I think the figures are not so exorbitant that could really deter us from paying. What is the challenge for us is really our commitment to ensure that we provide the quality education that benefits our children. And this requires some cost. Of course, you can see these figures are for a whole year. Some schools get for a whole term as low as 4 million. And there is a lot of demand on this money.